Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, and I'm back with another Raising Kanan Season 4 Theory and Prediction video. Okay, y'all, this one is for all the marbles. The topic of today's theory is Rock and Kanan kill Snaps and Pop together over the death of Famous, alright? Now, if you want to ask me personally, of course, Snaps and Pop were the last people who we would suspect to do it, because the motive that they had to do it, it makes all the sense in the world, but we never seen Famous interact with these people. So, of course, it would have been more sensationalized if it had been Marvin or Rock has something to do with it. But at the end of the day, we know that this is power. If Rock had put down one of Kanan's friends already, which was D-Wiz, then ultimately, even though we were all fighting against it because it would have been more entertaining if it was Rock, deep down we all knew that if she put down D-Wiz, she wasn't going to be the one who put down Famous. We all knew that. And because we now know that Snaps and Pop are the people who put down Famous, now we have a situation where by the end of the series, or rather by the end of the season, because I'm not too sure if Snaps and Pop will make it to the next season, but when Snaps and Pop do go, it will be Rock and Kanan pulling the trigger and shooting them both up together. I'm going to explain all the details in between this and how it leads to this happening by the end of the season, right? Within the last 5 minutes of the season, this is likely to happen. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new here. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, now, y'all, let's break it down like this, okay? First off, I want to say to you guys that I believe that Kanan already kind of suspects Snaps and Pop of having something to do with this, for the simple fact that Rock is someone who he knows has connections to the police, and the only other people he knows who has connections to the police are Snaps and Pop. So once he believes in his heart the truth, which is that Rock has nothing to do with it, and of course there will be hurdles in between that, him and Rock will have some kind of confrontation where he will make that accusation on Rock. But once he realizes that Rock didn't do it, then that means that Snaps and Pop automatically have to be guilty of it. The only question is how he will come around to figuring that out. But the reason why I say that Kanan probably already kind of suspects Snaps and Pop, we got to understand the dialogue that they had in that park, right? First of all, we have the dog. The dog's energy around the whole conversation, once Kanan starts asking, hey, don't y'all know the police? I want to know what's going on with my friend Fame, blah, 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 right? Then you have the energy around the whole conversation where it seems like Snaps and Pop, they immediately started talking to him about keeping squares out of circle and all that before he even really mentioned what was going on with Famous. You know what I'm saying? And one cannot deny the fact that they were acting a little bit suspicious. So that's one thing we could check off, all right? Now, once Kanan realizes Rock didn't do it, Snaps and Pop will, of course, like I said, be the only logical offenders in this situation, okay? It's going to take some time, but of course, Kanan will get to the realization that my mother didn't do this. What he's going to need is undeniable proof. Somehow, some way, undeniable proof will come his way, whether it's a witness who's seen the police take Crystal away, because of course he's going to try to blame Rock for the disappearance of Crystal, right? Or whether it's someone directly telling him that's close to Snaps and Pop or around them that, yo, Rock didn't have nothing to do with that, right? Also, we got to understand that the cops, they're stupid, okay? The cops will eventually make a mistake out of frustration and being worried about Snaps and Pop. And that's in regards to Famous, them covering that up, and also to Crystal. They're stupid. They're idiots. They will make a mistake, all right? Also, Rock also will find out one way or another that Snaps and Pop all are working with Unique to broker peace between Stefano and Russo. right? And when she finds out that Snaps and Pop are working together with Unique, she's gonna realize that, yo, there's a real huge like conspiracy against me. There's a huge conspiracy to get me out of the way. She's gonna be concerned about Kanan. This is also going to, one way or another, lead her to understanding that they had something to do with Famous. We gotta understand that Rock does have connections to police. So all police would have to say is, yo, I heard about such and such with Officer Pickett and Wiley, and I don't know, they was in the Bronx that one time 2 months ago, I don't know what for, blah, say blah, right? And then when we get to the bottom of the situation, before Raquel and Kanan end up killing Snaps and Pop together, right? Snaps and Pop will, of course, blame Rock for the murder of Famous, and they're going to tell Kanan, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but I heard that police got paid off by Rock to handle the situation, and here's another way that Snaps and Pop may slip up. Kanan's gonna be like, okay, my mother paid him off, who's the cops that did it? I want to kill the cops. And then Snaps and Pop are gonna be like, oh no, we can't proverbially do that because we got the cops in our back pocket. They're going to be trying to protect the police. And Kanan's going to be like, why are y'all trying to protect the police? Right? Right? And after it's proven that Rock didn't do it, she will take personal offense that the couple tried to get her son to kill her. On top of the fact that she's going to take personal offense that they did that. Plus they back working with Unique, which means they trying to roll over on her with the Italians, right? And also, she's going to take offense to the fact that now y'all trying to get my son in the mix and trying to get my son to kill me. Somehow, some way, some sense will be spoken into Kanan, and Kanan is going to understand that, okay, this is a grand plot in order for these people to remove my mother off the chessboard, and they trying to line me up against my mother. Y'all know what happens when Kanan feels like people are wrongfully trying to deal with his mom, okay? Especially when he's gonna feel like, yo, they trying to play me and trying to swindle me into taking my mother out, okay? Okay? What we can expect, right, to see before the end of the season is Snaps and Pop looking down the barrel of both Rock and Kanan's guns, with Kanan shooting Snaps up and Rock doing the honors for Pop, okay? And in the middle of this, we can expect to get some lore about Rock's past probably being revealed on the way out. Maybe they're saying they know things about High Post and DEF CON, this, that, and the third, right? Maybe we got Pop saying, Kanan, nigga, we know DEF CON ain't even your father. Because there's no way Pop don't know that DEF CON was gay. There's going to be a lot of lore to be dropped and all that. And what will happen to Crystal? She's probably going to be gone. She's probably going to be gone, or maybe at the end of the season they save her and she's like, yo, Kanan, I can't deal with this. They send her away, right? But at the end of the day, Kanan will have gotten his revenge, all right? The moral of this whole theory is that somehow, some way, Kanan will find out that people are trying to get him to go against his mother. He will find out that the police directly under Snaps and Pop has something to do with Famous. And Rock will find out in her own way, and maybe she'll make the connections for Kanan herself through their own personal dialogue. And she's going to take it personal. Look what y'all did to my baby. Right? After I already had to do what I did, look what y'all did to my baby. And then y'all tried to blame me for it. Y'all tried to get my son to kill me. By the end of the season, we will see both Kanan and Rock gunning down Snaps and Pop, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God-given. That's touch my ink. That's on the dome, nigga.